Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's David Palmer, Leo King. Thought I'd come to you live real quick with some info. I don't know if everybody watched last night's live video. I also put it up on YouTube about what's going on with the planets this week. Not that I'm putting a warning out there, but it's definitely intense coming up here. Although I think that this full moon won't be as bad as I think some people might think it might be, but there's definitely so many things going on this week that, everything that you should do this week should have a little bit of caution, or at least some sort of, making sure you're looking at everything before you just jump in to things, or assuming things, or having that conversation without really thinking it through. Jumping into so many conclusions without really looking all the way through. It's one of those weeks to where you just want to play your hand right. You want to play all your cards right. You don't want to get stuck in your own ego's motives or your own, overconfidence in situations, especially overconfidence in different issues too. This is a time to where confidence is good, but it's only good as far as your limits, and to not push your limits this week. This is definitely not a week to push your limits. Definitely not a week to, overconfidence will kill you. If you think you're a superhuman this week and you think you can just, push through anything and push through the world and just, push through so hard, it's kind of like popping a hernia or something like that. You just want to I don't know. You want to do your, do your thing. Somebody asked what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the road. I'm driving. Hands free though, yo. So be careful out there. Sorry, we're back. But who knows out there? That's the thing, is when you get this much crazy energy, and the way that I described it last night was, this is a battle where the big tanks are coming out in the skies. It's not like it's just like the horses or the little soldiers coming out. The B-2 bombers are coming out energetically this week. And so you just don't want to be on the battlefield of the universe or on this earth. We're in the middle of a battle of good and evil, and you don't want to be in the middle of it in such a way that it's you're just oblivious to it or overconfident. I can take on those B-2 bombers by myself. This is just not the week for that. It's just, you gotta be careful, You gotta be careful. This is a week where it's okay to drive in the slow lane. It's okay to keep your blinker on for 10 seconds. Make sure that the car next to you isn't in that lane. This is not where you become so confident where, on my truck here, I've got blind spot detectors with the little, light that goes on, right? I'm not going to rely on just those. I'm going to rely on making sure I'm looking, making sure that people aren't in my way this week. This is one of those, crazy weeks where, unfortunately, a lot of weird shit happens that we don't want to happen to us. So don't be a victim of that. Don't get into that mess. Don't get into that place. It's not the funnest of all energies to get into, and I would just hate for people to be negatively affected by this energy. I mean, the full moon is coming at the exact same time that we're having the two malefic planets, Mars and Saturn, in a square to this full moon, and exactly conjuncting, which in astrology is, the positive is a great focus energy, but the negative is, and trust me, I know I was born with Mars and Saturn conjunct in Scorpio. When things hit that thing negatively, oh my gosh, it is I don't even know the word, but I was going to say demonstrous. I don't even know if that's a word, but it is destroy. It's a destroyer energy. So, and I used the example of Rufio in Hook, who thought he could take on Hook when he couldn't, and he died. You know? So, and that's the Sun in Aries to me. So, I'm just putting another warning out. That's all I can do is just put warnings out. Like, you know me, I usually don't put warnings out. Usually I'm like, I'll put it at extreme on the app or whatever. But like, shit's real, And what's funny about this is people are probably going to be like, oh, whatever. I don't know. It's the whole thing about the Sun in Aries. It's like, no, I got this. I'll be all right. I got it. Don't worry. I'm going through it. I'm pushing through. Don't worry about me. I got this. That's the whole scary part about it. Is subconsciously people are going through the world right now like, no, it's all right. It's like making sure that you're paying attention to what the universe is saying. No, you shouldn't probably push that hard in that area right now. No, you probably shouldn't. Maybe it's okay that you're not, pushing 100 miles an hour right now. It's okay. It's all right. You got nothing to prove. This is definitely not a week to try and prove something. And you might even feel a little bit like, oh man, I'm behind, or oh, this is crazy energy and I need to push through. I need to get through it in a certain way. Like, of course, you got to get what's done. And that's the hard part, is this energy isn't allowing us to just stop. But it's also making sure that we're not, pushing through too much, It's a weird vibration. It's very weird. So, it's another reason why, and I'll give you the high vibe news. I didn't do high vibe this week. I have not had the energy to do it. I've had way too much on my plate, so I just didn't do it this week. I don't know if you noticed, I'm not even in the office. I'm in my truck on my way to the office. I've been sleeping in. I've been needing it bad. So I was like, I'm not getting up early and going to do it this week. Good news though is I did close the deal with the apps to build for high vibe. So right now that's what I'm building, and that's been great. So but that's gonna take 4 weeks. Hopefully I'll have the website up and the social media. It's gonna be like a social media site too, high vibe, in the next couple weeks. There was tour news. So the Arkansas show in Hot Springs, Arkansas has been canceled. It's been taken off the website. It's been taken off tickets at leokingevents.com. I will be in Arkansas in Hot Springs, but I'm not doing a show there anymore. The venue fell through, and so won't be in Arkansas, but and I won't be doing that city, but I will be doing Nashville, which is pretty close. I know it's not like an hour's drive, but if you are in that area, Nashville's close, so that'll be kind of cool. All the other cities are doing good. I can't even believe it. Super excited to meet a lot of people. We've sold lots of tickets. I'm like overwhelmed, so we're definitely looking forward to that tour. But going back to the energy, it's weird, when you're an astrologer and you look at planets every day, and you see stuff, and your math, and your rulerships, and you know what astrology is, right? You just know what it is. Long story short, when you see something like this coming up, you just go, you throw your hands up and you go, holy camole. Now, I remember during some of the major Pluto-Uranus squares, and we also had I think it was January 1st, 2014, when we had that, I think it was a new moon, but it was also in a big cardinal cross. I'd have to remember back, but I remember I think it was 2014. That one was a gnarly one. Maybe it was 2015. I don't know. It was one of those. Pretty sure it was 2014. And, you know, you look through the world and, you know, it was like, whatever, normal life happened. It was also a new moon, though. This one's a full moon. So, you know, the energy's more peaked out right now. And it's peaking. And you just want to be careful. That's it. Just have your extra look on things. And I think we're all learning what Capricorn is right now in a way we've never learned before, with Pluto there, Saturn there, and now Mars. So now that the fact that the sun's going to start squaring all this stuff, it already squared Mars this week. I'm sure you felt in the last week this over pushing things and then going, oh man, maybe I need to rethink what I'm doing and how I'm going about my life and who I am and what I'm doing with my life. And now here's Saturn. What decisions you make, what plans you're on, how cautious you are, what frustrations are there, you know? Like, you're gonna reveal some frustrations this week, and they're not gonna be easy. You're gonna have to find a way to deal with them without stressing out. Like, I think that's the main thing. It's not stressing out over it all, or overly being too, you know, like overly compensating for your stresses or overly compensating for your frustrations to try and fix things, you know? Like, that's just not the way to handle it. Like, there's always next week. There's always the next deal. Like, I know it's a stupid analogy, and some people get pissed when I use my race analogies, but it's what I do. I pulled the pump off my Sea-Doo. I have 2 boats that I race, one of them. Dude, it's like there's something wrong with the pump, you know? The whole reason why the boat didn't run good the last race. So I gotta figure that out and get the right tools and replace the wear ring on this thing, which is a bitch. Just doing it all as a bitch. And if I can't get it done, you know, then I can't freak out. The race is, I'm leaving for the race on Friday morning. Like, I can't freak out. I can't, you know, I have the other boat, you know? So it's like, there's like little things that are like, you know, it's like, don't push too hard. Don't like lose yourself this week. If something doesn't work out, especially with Chiron coming to the last degree, right? Chiron's coming to 29 degrees of Pisces. Holy mother. In my book, that's like the hardest transit by itself. Like, if you were to just pick a planet, well, actually, the truth is, I think Neptune at 29 is going to be pretty gnarly. And anytime Pluto's at 29, okay? Anytime anything's at 20 fucking 9, you know, it's going to be crazy. But this is our first time we've ever had Chiron at 29 in 50 years, you know? What happened 50 years ago? So today's 2018. Let's do my math. 20, so 30, so what was that, 78? No, 68? 68. Or is it 7? No, yeah, it's 68. 1968. Chiron 29 Pisces. Huh. That's kind of an interesting time. Vietnam War, feeling like shit was... Nobody was happy with the president then either. That's just the truth. Everybody kind of felt like there was no way to control. There was people rioting. There were people speaking out in the streets. They were upset. And they're feeling like they were all being shafted by the government too, even though Pisces has nothing to deal with the government. But what's interesting is Pisces is the feeling that you're just being shafted at the very last degree. Like, oh man, because it's really the 29th degree of Pisces is the last degree before the rising sign, right, in your chart. So if you were to look at your chart and you were to go, oh, okay, Chiron at the last degree before my rising sign, oh my gosh, that's usually a moment in your life of like, oh God, I've been just given the worst crap that I need to let go of. Because also the Pisces is where you have to let go. What are you going to let go of and move forward with, right? Because when you come into the rising sign, it's like, this is where I'm going to go next, right? This is where my life's going to take off. This is the new person I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to take my life now. So there's a lot that comes up with that, like, oh, I'm going this direction next. I'm letting go of all this bullshit. I'm letting go of all this junk in the trunk. I'm letting go of all this crap. And I'm moving into this energy, right? So with Chiron at that last degree here, it's bringing up all the stuff where, like, we want to let go of in our life, and it's all happening while Saturn's squaring the sun. So it's like a serious let go. It almost feels like, you know, the TSA is on your butt and the FBI wants to talk to you about it all. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's one of those weird, you know, kind of, what's going on? Like, I'm being violated a little bit by the universe to let go of this, you know, and not in like a bad way, but also kind of like a serious, like, damn, like, okay, I get it. I'm hearing it, God, and I'm hearing it. You know, God's coming through strong, and almost in the way that, like, you know, kind of the old days, they described God as kind of not wicked, but like very, like, you know, and I hate to use the analogy of to fear God, because I don't want to advocate to fear God or anything like that. But I don't know why my guides are bringing this up. And this is something, like, there are moments in life where you feel like, whoa, is God like kind of, you know, checking this situation out in my life and being like, don't go that way, you know, don't do that anymore, like, move in this direction now, please, or it just might get ugly. Like, I don't know, I'm just putting it out there. That's what this live talk is all about, just, you know. So anyway, I am pulling up to work, so a long day ahead. But I hope you guys have a good one, and remember, take that extra step to stop for a sec. You know? Like, this lady just almost hit me, and I'm staring her down now. It's like, put the blinker on. And then, you know, turn. So, anyway, gang, I'm out. I will talk to you all soon, and I'll see you all on the next video. Adios.